over the pandemic, there were obvious concerns around, amongst landlords, tenants, and agents around tenant arrears. Are the breathing spaces that were introduced still in play?
Yeah, and interesting you should ask that one. So, for those, unfamiliar with breathing spaces, they involve the temporary cessation of debt recovery, which includes rent arrears. And this is whilst an individual receives advice from specialist agencies, like the Citizens Advice Bureau. Now, certainly, at the Connells Group, we only saw a few of these breathing spaces, all of which, to date anyway, ended with the landlord resuming proceedings once the breathing space ended. With that in mind, I think it's pretty impossible, for us to judge their value and effectiveness. However, notwithstanding that, government has published proposals for statutory debt repayment plans, SDRPs, as if we need another acronym, but there we go, we've got another one. SDRPs, those cover both England and Wales. Interestingly, an SDRP focuses on repayment as opposed to the relief offered by a breathing space, and potentially provides, I think, a fair degree of protection to debtors through repayment plans. Now, if a debtor has, and this is real interest for landlords and agents, so if a debtor has rent arrears, they can be included in the debt repayment plan, but apparently, certainly, by my reading, it's not mandatory under the proposals. Now, a tenant may decide not to include rent arrears because the longer repayment period associated with one of those plans could be viewed as prejudicing the long-term future of their tenancy, including at its renewal. That would be the obvious point. Now, it strikes me that in practice, excluding rent arrears, could prove, all but impossible, unless a plan provides, a really speedy way of clearing them. However, again, we'll need to wait and see, what develops. But when a plan is formulated, tenants should continue making rental payments very much as usual, as expenditure is factored into the equation. Finally, a consultation has been launched, which closes on August the 5th of this year. Obviously, a really complicated and nuanced topic. And again, full details are available on gov.uk in the usual way.
Awesome, Andrew. Thank you so much for coming on the show. Thank you for all the insights and thank you for all the help. And I really appreciate it.
Great. Thanks very much for inviting me.